Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Welcome. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for being here once again to another edition of Love Talks with the Garcons. I am Irvin's Garcon.
And I am Ian Garcon.
And together, as you already know, we are Love Talks with the Garcons, where love speak.
And we listen.
I hope you guys are doing great on this almost halfway point of the week. On our end, it's been a pretty busy week, as always. Every time we come on here, talk about how busy we are. And this week is no difference. But busy week. We are here with you guys, and we are excited to join you. Hey, Wilson, how are you? Thank you for tuning in, as always.
Hey, sis.
Can always count on you when you're not working to be here. Let us know if you can hear us okay. I think I heard myself pretty well. So I hope that's the case for everybody else as well. Ingrid, so how are you feeling?
Not so amazing, but I will be fine. I have this pain in my left thigh, hip area. And I'm like, am I getting old or is it just something that I need to get checked out? So I'm dealing with it. It's pretty painful, but I'm here.
You're maintaining, you're pushing through.
It could be worse, right?
It could be worse.
And so I thank God that it's not worse.
Do us a favor, guys, as you're coming in or doing the playback even. This applies to both the playback and also those people who are tuning in live. Go ahead and do share this with at least 5 people. Send it to your group chat, your WhatsApp group, and anybody else who you know will benefit from this conversation tonight. So,
Brooklyn, I'm going to start stretching a little bit more.
Yeah.
I started stretching on Sunday night, and it started to help. It just started hurting, so I had to stop. But yeah.
But she's gonna be all right. Thank you, guys. I'm glad that everybody survived the nor'easter.
Man.
No, but real talk, some people really got hit really bad based on where you live. If you live like in a coastal area versus if you live inland. So we are joking about that because we were supposed to have an event on Sunday, and then we ended up postponing the event. There we go again.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why that happens all the time.
We end up postponing the event because of the weather. We wanted to make sure everybody was okay. But we'll tell you more about that later on after we wrap up the live. We're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna jump right in because we want to respect your time. And those who are running late, they're probably looking for parking or are stuck in traffic. But nonetheless, they could catch up as we go along. So, what's up? What are we talking about tonight, fam?
We are talking about love.
Because we're Love Talks.
We talk about all things love, right? No, but today we're going to be tackling emotional availability.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of these love shows, right? And one of the things that mostly the women will say that they desire in a man is that he's emotionally available. So we wanted to really talk about, what does that really mean? Like, what does it mean to be emotionally available? And if someone is not emotionally available, then they must be emotionally unavailable, right?
Right.
So what does it look like to be emotionally available? What does it look like to be emotionally unavailable? And what's the in between, right? So today we're going to talk about, this emotional availability that I don't think just women want from men,
right,
but men need from women as well, because some women are very tough, right? Some women have grown to be strong, so strong where they don't need a man, they want a man, right? And so they'll let him know that. And men don't like that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And how to spot the signs of emotional availability.
Yeah, and it's something we can already imagine. If you're not available for something, that means you cannot.
Guys, babe, I know you hate it, like,
really,
because the way you look at me, I'm like, I'm so sorry.
it is so unprofessional on the pod.
I don't.
But for some reason, her yawns get triggered. Now, let's not pretend to get triggered because you're on the live. You know good to nobody after 8 o'clock. That's it. That's the bottom line.
How do you stop
But you push through. You pretend like, oh, do something cutesy with it. It goes another one.
Because you stopped the first one. I'm so sorry, guys. Go ahead, babe.
So when you're not available, that means you cannot be reached. You cannot connect. There's a lot of things you cannot do when you're not available, right? You cannot answer a particular call. In this case, the call for relationship.
Ooh,
the call for relationship, the call for partnership. You cannot respond to some of those things because you are not available. Now, there could be a reason why you're not available, but it's important for us to understand that that is part of it. How open are you to connect with someone, right? What is your capacity to be vulnerable, to be honest about your feelings and your emotions, to be to receive love even, right? So because these are all the things that
to give love
and to give love,
to receive it, right?
Yeah. And so these are all the things that come along with it when you're not emotionally available to be in a relationship, to be in a partnership. All right. And so is it learned? So that's a really, really good question. And we'll get to that in just a minute. It could be learned. It could also be from your experiences. And it could also be from your trauma as well.
I think anything can be learned. I think if you're willing, you can learn.
That's just about, is it learned?
Yeah.
Emotionally unavailability. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think anything is learned. I think experience does of course tie into it. But let's say someone who is emotionally unavailable and they're dealing with someone who really wants them to be available. They can learn that. They can learn how to be more available emotionally for their person by seeking out resources or even just trying. Sometimes it's literally about doing something you've never done to get a different result.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
To being Haitian, this was lacking from my parents. I think the entire Haitian culture, especially the more former, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily our present, because like a lot of us are really like more enlightened now. But I think a lot of Haitians, in that culture, they were emotionally unavailable because I don't think they knew how to.
Yeah. But I think it's also very important for us to understand and not misconstrued or mixed when someone who's just not naturally affectionate versus being emotionally unavailable. So let's not, we have to be, make sure that we are not confusing the two, right?
So let's unpack that.
Yeah.
What is it? What's the difference between being emotionally unavailable and being non-affectionate?
Yeah. So for example, when you are emotionally unavailable, there's a struggle to access, to express, or to share any kind of emotions.
Okay.
Whereas if you're just not affectionate, there's still a possibility where you can still give it to the person, right? And it can still be genuine. But those people who are just emotionally, they are often very distant, or they're often very indifferent about those things, and they don't even respond to the partner's emotional needs or what they're trying to express to them.
Very stoic.
They're very stoic, and they can look even emotionally absent. It's hard to explain it, but the wording that I'm using hopefully is making sense for you to kind of like see what that would look like, right? So it's almost like when you're talking to them, what's up, Gersh? It's almost like when you're talking to them, it's like talking to a brick wall as it relates to emotions, as it relates to those expression of affection, right?
I mean, I feel there has to have been some trauma attached to that.
Yeah.
For someone to be that unavailable, there has to be this thick wall, this thick high wall that has been built because they were emotionally available one time and they got hurt. They got hurt.
Right.
I can think of like, I don't remember where we heard this from, but there was a guy who was very transparent and open with his girl, and she laughed at him. Like she made it like into a joke. Talking about man up. When you have a man who's willing to share on that level with you, and he starts speaking, you listen. You don't shut him down, because the one time you shut him down is going to be the last time you shut him down.
Right.
But it's because he ain't opening up again.
Right.
So when a man, it's because it's more so, harder for men to be emotionally available than it is for women. And so if a man opens up in that way, women, we have to be very careful and nurture that space. Like give him that space to be emotional. I remember, like, you weren't emotional at all. I'm not even gonna say all this. Oh. You were never emotional, right? You shared, you were vulnerable, but you were never emotional. I feel like you've become so much more in touch with your emotions.
Trying to call me soft.
I feel like you've become so much more in touch with your emotions. At first, it was a little weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know what to do with it. Because I'm like, okay, do I hold you? Do I rub your back? Do I cry? Yeah.
To that extent?
Yeah, because I'm like, okay. And I was like, wait, but I'm naturally emotional. So like, I think I was just overthinking it, because I'm like, okay, I know how to respond to this, because this is what I would want for me. Like, this is, you know what I'm saying? So like, I think it could be foreign to some women when a guy just starts to, out of nowhere, become emotionally available when you weren't before.
I think we have to ensure that we keep harping on the difference, right?
Yeah.
Because being emotional and being affectionate, again, is two different things. Two very different things. Because not being affectionate, it means like you're not expressing a lot of love or care, whether physically or verbally. You're not a hugger, for example. You don't praise the person that you're with. Maybe not really good with complimenting.
So this is being not affectionate.
Not affectionate. While being emotional means there's a lack of deeply felt feelings, such as joy. So you feel like emotionally there's a distance. So I think it could be semantics, but there is a very big difference between the two, right? And we'll hope to unpack that as we go along tonight.
So, someone who is emotionally available, would you say that they're hiding from themselves?
Hiding from themselves in what way?
Would you say that there are parts of them that they know should be expressed, but like they're hiding it? Because this is what I mean. Like, do you feel like someone who's emotionally available, yeah, they can become emotionally available? Or someone who is emotionally available, that's just the way they are. You got to accept them the way they are.
I think there are ways for you to try to get over it. That person must probably have to do a lot of work on themselves. There's going to be a lot of need for discovery as to why they are the way they are. And I think that's a problem a lot of time with us as human beings, like on a broader scale. We don't try to make sure to investigate the reasons why we are the way we are. There's so much need for discovery, but oftentimes we don't engage in what that is, right? And oftentimes also we feel like sometimes we probably don't want to know what's causing us to be the way that we are, or we don't realize we need to actually take the steps to make sure we are doing so. Someone who is emotionally unavailable, they might end up being very superficial, right, about things, versus being deep. There's no depth in them when it comes to to emotions and to feelings, right? So those are some of the things that happen. And even when they try to do it, those who are not emotionally available, there's no consistency. You don't know what you're gonna get. One day they might be, hey Tamar. One day they might be very, very Sue, and then the other day they might be very, very distant. Right. So these are some of the signs that someone is not emotionally available. And they try to avoid, a lot of time they try to avoid some of those deeper emotional topics.
Yeah.
Right. You're trying to talk about something deep, when as it relates to emotions and as it relates to your relationship. But what they do is they quite like either make a joke about it, and as a way,
like you, sir.
hush up, as as a way to distract from the conversation that need to be had, right? And so, and those are the people who tend to be more on the guarded, super guarded wave, where they barely are willing to let somebody in, right? I mean, guys, imagine being in a relationship with someone like that. That's, especially if you're the complete opposite.
And being in relationship, it's there to really strengthen your walk, like
Right.
your personal walk. So when someone is in relationship with you and they tell you that you are emotionally unavailable, I don't think that we should take it as an offensive comment. I think it should be something that's taken into consideration so that you can go and work on yourself, right? Because we don't fully see ourselves the way the person that we're with sees us.
Right.
Like, babe, you don't see, like, that's why sometimes, like, I'll say things to you and stuff. You don't see that. So, like, that's why you are that way. You need me to say this and this and this to show you what you don't see. And so if I'm sharing that with you, you shouldn't be offended by it. You should be like, oh, wow, okay, maybe I do need to go and work on these things. And this brings us back to just a personal walk with God. Like, if we are not going into God's presence to find out what is within us that is not good, right? That's not conducive for healthy relationships. It's not conducive for our marriage. Like, then we will never see ourselves the way, or we will never become who we're truly called to become. You know what I'm saying?
I was watching Kirk Franklin has this new show, this podcast, not Den of Thieves.
Oh, what is
the
it?
Den of Kings.
Okay.
Oh my God. And he had on it, Jonathan Majors was one of the guests on it, along with Kev on stage, and they were both expressing something to what you were just talking about. And forgive me, guys, if I'm going to say it doesn't sound very too Christian, but it is actually. And what you just say, that discovery, going to God is one thing, but also seeking professional help to address some of those things. The new saying now is you can both have Jesus and therapy, right? And I truly believe that the Lord, He orchestrates everything, including those offices or those careers, to help us to make those discoveries, right? And so it is super imperative that I think the first thing is we have to recognize norms, what is supposed to be normal and what is abnormal. Not everything. We live in a society right now where everything is just relative. We don't like universal things. We don't like universal truth. We don't like everything is relative. That's just how I am. No, there's certain things that's just not normal. And those things that are abnormal in us, we need to really work on discovering why that is the case. And that could be through prayer and professional help. Right. And then you don't just stop there. You do something about it. It's not normal for me to be aloof to relationship. It's not normal for me to have no kind of aversion. I hope I'm using the word in the right context, to love, to receive love, to give love. That is not normal, ladies and gentlemen. And when we realize that those things are abnormal, and we realize, oh man, I might be emotionally unavailable. I got to look deep down inside if I can on my own to make discovery, or go lay up on somebody's couch professionally.
That part.
Lay up on somebody's couch professionally to help you find the reason why you are unavailable, why you are some of those things they don't apply to you, or you don't have you have no desire for it.
Yeah. But that's also part of self-awareness.
Right.
Like if you're not self-aware, like you're going to walk around being a jerk. You're going to walk around saying all kind of things, like treating people all kind of ways, and just staying in your jerkness because you feel like, you know, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? So like self-awareness is super important. If you really want to be more emotionally available. So what does emotional availability look like, right? When you are emotionally available, you can express your emotions clearly, right? And calmly, right? That part, the calm part. You're honest about your past. You're honest about what, you know, your present and like your future, like your growth journey, right? You want to make sure that you're able to show empathy, right? You like if you're sharing something with me, like I want to show you that I can empathize, right? That I can understand that you're feeling a certain way and empathize with that. You know, you're consistent. Like you say what you mean what you say.
Yeah.
You're accountable. If you did something that was wrong, you say I was wrong, right? And if you think about it, these things are not.
They're not
right. They're not like rocket science.
Yeah.
You know.
But you'd be surprised though. It's like, and that's the thing. We have that common sense is not that common. Logic isn't really that logical. There's some people who just don't get it. Like you said, they like the awareness to come to those realizations, right? And so they end up stuck in what Francis Lewis was talking about. That's just how I am. You don't have to stay that way though. It might be how you are, but you don't have to stay that way.
That mentality is killing.
Yeah, especially when you know it's detrimental. If the way you are is a detriment to your livelihood, a detriment to building relationship and connect with people, guess what? It's time to change it. It's time to grow, right? So it's imperative that we have that level of awareness to do something about it. And to Ann's point, as it relates to empathy, people don't know how to be empathetic. You have a lot of people who just don't understand the idea of walking in somebody else's shoes. It's not a hard concept, guys, right? Unless what you do to the other person, you don't mind it happening to you. It's not really hard to understand the concept of being empathetic.
Yeah.
So if you are able to be empathetic with your partner, to understand where they're coming from, then you probably are more or less a little bit more on being available emotionally than someone who is not, right? Another green flag or readiness to be emotionally available, this person is consistent, right? They're able to take accountability for their actions too. They're able to say, I am wrong, I was wrong, I'm sorry. So they're able to do some of those things without it being like a difficulty to do that. I guess because earlier on in the relationship, it was hard for me to say, I'm sorry. Was I emotionally unavailable? Because I had other good things I was popping.
That's what I'm saying. The in between, right? There could be some parts, you know, there can be some things that you exhibit, but then there can be some things that you don't. So you're like in between. You're not necessarily fully available or fully unavailable. You're here.
Yeah.
You're here. So yeah, like anyone, I'm curious to know, like anyone who is watching right now, like, have you ever experienced someone who was emotionally unavailable?
Or Or as we're talking about it now, you realize you maybe don't have the verbiage to it, but now as we're talking more about like,
that sounds like me.
That's not like me, or that sounds like JoJo and whoever that person is that you're dating.
And one thing Francis said, she was like, it's not only for romantic relationship.
Yeah.
This pertains to friendships as well.
Mm-hmm.
There are some friendships where someone is just not able to take accountability, not able to really
reciprocate,
right? Not able to really be consistent or share honesty or be empathetic. And like that can really cause a relationship, a friendship as well.
Yeah.
It can break a friendship apart.
Business relationships.
Yeah.
There's so many different components of it that it can mess up.
You want to see that comment right there?
Sure.
If an anxious attachment style person verbalizes their point of view to an avoidant attachment style, okay, come on, psychology.
Right.
Well, the latter may find the former is acting up. Just saying. Since I dropped in a few minutes after start, I hope I'm not off topic.
You're not off topic, but it's
anxious attachment style.
Yeah, we're talking about attachment theory. We're going to some deep psychology stuff right now.
Avoidant attachment style.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, and that, and you know, that point that really is important to really know what kind of communicator and what type of style you are, because in relationships, you're like building community.
Yeah.
So you have to really know the person that you're dealing with, like learn them to know how to cater to them. So thank you for bringing that.
Yeah, and a lot of it, when it comes to this whole idea of emotional, and of not being available emotionally, a lot of it has to do also with, there's also an ability, right? We have to talk about ability, what people are able to do or what they are not able to do.
But if they're not, this is what I'm saying, like if they're not able to do it, like we said, can they learn it?
It's possible. You can learn with everything. Anything that you are dealing with or facing can have intervention for it. How quickly do you grow? How quickly do you mature in those areas? That's all depend on your willingness also to grow. But it goes back to the realization and the self-awareness to realize, hey, I need to be better at this. And I think that's where people get stuck, when they don't realize that something is wrong and they need to grow and be better.
Right. Search me, oh God. Right. Like that needs to be our prayer every day. Search me, oh God, if there's anything in me like that's not pleasing to you. Because okay. So now can we kind of tie that into maybe sin in any kind of way?
Okay, Jesus cousin. Because there.
Now think about it, like emotional unavailability, right? If you are emotionally unavailable and you are just constantly being this, this jerk to your partner or jerk to a friend, like that's not love. You know what I'm saying? So like you're not really operating as a Christian, Christ-like. When we think of Christian, we think of Christ-like. Was Christ emotionally available? Was he able to empathize?
Of course.
Was he able? Right. That's what I'm saying.
All of the above.
So if you are not able, I don't want to be too deep where we're talking about like it's a sin. I'm not saying it's a sin, but when you allow the word to wash you, when you allow prayer to really strip you, right, and show you who you are and transform you, then you become better. You become better. You don't take everything that people are saying about you as they hating on me.
Yeah.
Or they just can't, I'm gonna cut you off. Because the next person you get into relationship with or friendship with is gonna have the same issue. You are the common denominator.
Right.
So we have to really be willing to pray and see ourselves the way God sees us. Or see the things that we're not. You know what I'm saying? Like look ourselves in the mirror, like look at ourselves through the word of God. And if it doesn't line up with him, okay, let me change that about myself.
Man.
I'm sorry, y'all. I went there.
Yeah, you weren't churchy.
Hey, what's wrong with that? Like We have to really.
Nobody said there was anything wrong with that.
But you, the way you said it was like it was a waste. I want to be more like you, Jesus. So how can I be more like you? I got to be emotionally available.
I have a good friend where I felt like it was one-sided, and he took a conversation where I told her that I felt like I was sharing a lot more, and that led to us being able to grow as friends. Yeah, so you're able to have that conversation. I wonder
I'm glad that she was open to it also.
I wonder, Franz Luce, if at that time she realized what she was doing, right? If she realized that she was not being as available to you as you were
until you said it, right? And so sometimes we really do need to be vocal about it, right? We need to express, okay, in this area, I feel like I feel like I need a little bit more from you.
Yeah.
And if that person gets offended, then you need to, no, I'm not saying to cut it, but maybe it could
be cut it. Listen,
I mean, not everyone needs to be cut. Sometimes people just need a chance.
I know, but in this day and age, I'm not saying that's the first step of action. You dismiss that person, but we're living in a time and age where energy, guys. I'm not a dismissive person. I'd probably be lying to myself. I'm dismissive to certain things, right? I'm dismissive to certain things. There's only so much energy I can give certain things before I'm like, you know what, it's not really worth it. Anne is different. Anne would give energy to things up the wazoo. She has this unhealthy obsession of fixing things, right? It's unhealthy because sometimes it goes to your own mental health, and you be going crazy over something. When in actuality, that person, the person I've done me be a dummy. Sleeping well while you're up and worrying about that person. So sometimes you have to return.
It's called closure.
You have to match energy. Sometimes you have to match energy. And the thing she seek closure for, be like the smallest things with somebody. Like, really?
To you, though, that's the thing. To you, we are two completely different people.
Listen,
the way you view the world is different from the way I view the world.
If we sit here with our audience,
relationships is completely different from the way I view
relationships. If we sit with our audience here tonight and give them all the examples we're talking about, be like, what, Ann? Are you serious?
Not true.
You're losing sleep over that?
Not true.
You're wilding, bro.
Not true.
It was wilding.
Anyway, she said no, because we asked her. She said she didn't. It was a trauma response, and it allowed for us to have a better understanding for each other's backgrounds.
Right.
Nice.
And I'm glad that you said that.
And those are the hard conversations that we need to be having, that people really run away from a lot.
Yeah. And also super important that exploration of those causes, right? The causes you're talking about, for instance, in your comment as it relates to the trauma. Once you are able to look at the causes, it could give us some insight on how to deal with it. Right?
My mom said Anna's her mother's daughter. I'm sorry.
Oh yes. Her father was like even killed. Yeah, I think your father obsessed over things. So he probably just never verbalized it. I think to a certain degree. So it's from both of your parents. That's what happened. You think you're gonna grow up in a two-parent household, you're gonna be healthy, but you're unhealthy.
Oh wow,
it's crazy. Sometimes people will go through nasty breakups, whether it's friendship or not, or romantic relationship. And they might need some time to better themselves, and probably don't even realize how that is impacting them. Or it goes even more dire, more serious, like childhood trauma. And things that people go through, right?
I believe like everyone is the way that they are because of something that happened. Now,
it's just that we have verbiage, we have language for it.
We have language for it, but also at the same time, you got that. That's my mom, y'all. Hi, Nan.
Hey, Nan.
Also, what was I saying?
We're talking about childhood trauma. We all have something we're dealing with.
We all have something that we're dealing with, but. Like I shared, I don't know if I shared it here in one of our sessions with our couples. What happened to you is not your fault, but it's your responsibility of how you're going to handle it now. You know what I'm saying? Like I said it wrong, but you guys get it. Like you can't undo what has happened.
Yeah.
But moving forward, it is your responsibility to fix it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't stay the way that you are and be like, oh, it's because this happened or that happened, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I understand that. And I'm sorry, I empathize with you. However, okay, what are we going to do to fix it? What are the steps we're going to take to undo this stuff, right? To unlearn this stuff, right? Because we have to become the best versions of ourselves, unless you just want to remain broken.
Yeah. And so it's super important. We do have a hard stop, guys. We love you, but tonight we won't be able to linger. We have a hard stop due to another commitment, but we are here for you guys. So let's talk a little bit about what people can do, the action steps that people could take when it comes to it, right? I think it's very important for us to practice how to get comfortable in expressing ourselves. We have to get comfortable in expressing ourselves, and people who are emotionally unavailable don't have that skill to be able to do so, right? And it's also very important that we are asking those questions when you encounter that person who just won't give you, they won't reciprocate, they won't give you anything. I think it's important to have those conversations and not be trapped or find yourself stuck in those situations, right? It's also important for us to know, in terms of what you're asking about timing, Kay, we take it slow. Because those things don't happen overnight. Once you realize that you or that person that you're connected with are emotionally unavailable, we have to keep in mind that and give the grace and be cognizant that this did not just happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between somebody who's just not affectionate, someone who is playing games. They don't want to claim you. So they say, I'm just not emotionally available, right? You have to use your discernment to ensure which one it is. But for those people who are genuinely stuck in that phase, we have to understand that something led up to that.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on what it is, the severity of it, we have to ensure that we are giving that person time to be able to process it. Now, someone had commented earlier about, I gotta find it. I think it has to do with something like she chose that. Okay, there it is. It was also okay. What I find funny is a person picked that partner. So how come they did not notice their choice was not emotionally available?
Yeah.
They did. They probably did, because this opened up a whole other can of worm in the conversation.
These red flags.
The red flags, and people who settle for red flag because of 2 weeks ago's topic, the biological clock is ticking. No, that was a content video that the clock is ticking, or I lower my standard and my worth, right?
Or because they're so in love, they have blinders on.
Right.
So like, yeah, some people did know that their person was emotionally unavailable. They thought they would change.
Yeah.
They thought, they saw potential, so like it could be all those things.
You got to hold the line, man. You got to hold the line. You got to know how much you can bear. Even the Bible tells you that Jesus will not give you more than you can bear.
Yeah.
Don't try to say Jesus gave them to you. Don't try to say that, right? Because if you know you want someone who is emotional, who is affectionate, which an emotionally unavailable person cannot do, why would Jesus give you that?
You went and got him yourself.
You went and got him yourself because of one of those reasons that we mentioned, biological clock, or wanting to be in a relationship, enamored with the idea of a relationship more than what it takes to be in a relationship.
Because all your friends got a relationship.
Right. So all of those things.
Like, oh my God, it's my turn. Oh, he likes me. But also people who are not emotionally available, try to surround yourself with those who are. Like, I feel like a lot of behaviors can be picked up in community. Like I see, it's so funny. I'll see certain people that are in the same circle, they start speaking the same, or they'll start acting the same. So, and it can be a good thing, but sometimes it's like weird, right? But if you're trying to learn how to be something or how to do something, you want to surround yourself with people that are like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to be a nurse, you're probably going to be in like a nurses club. right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. If you want to be
Yeah.
a good wife, you'll probably be in a wives club. So like
Absolutely.
surround yourself with people
Yeah.
that you want to be
Get
like.
around people who are in healthy relationships where they are opening up, right? That way you can see it being modeled. There's something great about modeling things for people. Just ensure that no, I want to take it back. I don't say just ensure that the modeling is real. That's not one of those fake surface relationships that everything is fake. But you can still learn from that.
Yeah.
You can still learn good
That's
practice,
crazy.
good skills from
You
that
can learn
person.
from fakeness.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Majority of the things that we get engaged in are fake, right? Because there's a livelihood people are trying to maintain that sometimes you're not always genuine, right?
Yeah. And you can also practice like
opening up.
Practice like Frances said with her friend. Like she said, "Hey, I feel like I'm the only one sharing. I feel like this is one-sided here." It could have went left or it could have went right.
Yeah.
It went right. Thank Jesus, right? But practicing when you are feeling a certain way that you don't shy away from sharing exactly how you're feeling. Just practice. See what happens.
And sometimes you could practice on yourself, right? Practice. What I mean by that, start writing out or encourage the person that you know that deal with that. Help them to start writing out their own feelings and emotions to themselves. Right? Because if you're able to express it to yourself, then it makes it a little bit easier for you to, or if you cannot share with the romantic partner, at least start sharing with yourself. Consider like journaling, right? Journal your feelings. Engage in music. There's nothing more. Music is such a powerful tool. You hear that right song, whether it's that romantic song that puts you in the mood, like you always want to listen to compa for certain things.
Same. Or spend more time in prayer.
Yeah.
Spend more time in prayer and ask God to help you to become a little bit more open, right? Yeah. Be more emotionally available for not just your partner, but for your friends, right? Your family. Some parents are not emotionally available for their children. Like every friendship, every type of ship that you're part of needs that emotional availability.
Yeah. And check this out. Check this out. Oh my God, what are they going to check out? I'm trying to blank. I just had something good. I lost it. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
You want to see some of these comments?
Yeah, sure.
While you think about it, let's see what Kay has to say here. So birds of the same feather flock together. So surrounding yourself with others that could model something one wants to learn or acquire has to be a conscious choice. One has to break the mold. Thank you for sharing that. Yep. Surrounding yourself with others who you'd like to emulate. Journal prompts. That emotional unavailability sometimes shows up in our relationship with God. Amen. That's so good. Yeah. Some of us are not even open with God, as if we can hide from him. Like,
that's crazy.
Like he created us, right? So, yeah. So like, we really want you guys to really know what to look for, especially like when you're going into a relationship with someone. Like if you see signs of emotional unavailability, not to say that this person is not a good person to be with, but maybe the timing is not right.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to walk through some stuff first before you can commit to trying to fix them. Because we don't fix people, y'all. We don't fix people. God does.
Yeah. Even then, they do need to want to change or be fixed or recognize that they need to be fixed.
Right. You can't complain later when you can't complain when you listen. You met me like this, and they're right. You met me like this, so why you now want to change me? That's not fair. It's not fair to them. Right?
Yeah.
Give them time to really process. Give them time to change, and then if they do change, okay, But if not, then that's not the person God has for you. Trust me.
Absolutely.
Trust me.
And as you wrap up, just remember availability or
just don't like you.
that part. Remember, guys, availability or unavailability start with awareness. You need to recognize that you're dealing with that and take the necessary steps to address it. All right, guys, we do have to run. Hard stop. This was great, short one, but
Thank
a
you guys
good
so
one.
much
But
for joining us tonight.
you guys were alive tonight. I appreciate Friends Luz. Shout out to you, Gersh, Ruthlyn, Kay,
Dynamo, my mom,
and everybody else who's watching but not commenting.
Go up and let's save their names.
That was Patricia. Thank you.
Who else?
Tamara's here. She said hello. And I think that was it for the commenters anyway.
El Peño Church of God, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Yeah. Can't wait to worship with you guys this weekend.
Yeah. So you guys, if you're in Jersey and pull up on Peño, look it up as Peño Church of God, and we'll be there on Sunday night for a concert along with a worship experience along with some other dope worship leaders. So it's gonna be an amazing night. Look up the address because I don't have it right on top right now. It is in Elizabeth. I know that for a fact. Elizabeth, New Jersey, Peño Church of God. So if you're in the Jersey area or you want to take a drive to New Jersey because you never heard Ann sing or you have an experience in her ministry or you just love her ministry, pull up to New Jersey on Sunday night.
Yes.
All right.
All right, friends. Last comment before we go. Developing a strong relationship with God is a key factor for transformation indeed. Many of our inner toils can be fixed in private by spending time with God. On that note, we are out of here. Thank you so much, guys.
Guys, share the live with somebody else so I could watch the playback. Yeah. Go to the YouTube. If you're on Instagram, we don't save it, but definitely go to our YouTube channel, which is Love Talks with the Garcons, no space. And then you'll find us on YouTube. Share that link with someone to this video so they're able to watch the playback and help them to realize or come to the recognition that they're dealing with it, or they may be dealing with someone who is emotionally available and they could take necessary steps for it.
Yes.
All right. On that note, good night.
Bye, y'all. This is